generous to other people, right? When Aristotle says that you should be benevolent, like what does that mean? This is very vague. When I say be a good dad, most people sort of have a gut level understanding of what it means to be a good dad. And mostly what they have a gut level understanding of what it means to really be a really bad dad. And so what it means to be a good man is to fulfill those roles, as many of them as you can, properly and at full function. And that's a very hard job. And I've said before that, because I engage a lot with the public and all of this, the word great comes up a lot. What does it take to be a great leader? What does it take to be a great person? And I've always said to people, it's actually fairly easy to be great. It's very difficult to be good. There are a lot of very great people who are not very good, and there are not a lot of good people. And most of them, frankly, most good people die mourned by their family and friends, and 2 generations later they're forgotten. But those are the people who incrementally move the ball forward in the world, sometimes much more than the people who are considered great.
Understand the role in your life that involves being a cup and be damn good at it.
Exactly. That's right.
Hold the soup. It's very
Jordan Peterson of there. Yeah,
it's very like Lobster with Jordan Peterson.
Exactly.
I think people will quote you for years and years to come on that. What advice would you give? A lot of young people look up to you. What advice, despite their better judgment? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
maybe
only kidding. Only kidding. They seriously look up to you and draw inspiration from your ideas, from your bold thinking. What advice would you give to them? How to live a life worth living? How to have a career they can be proud of, and everything like that.
So, live out the values that you think are really important and seek those values in others, would be the first piece of advice. Second piece of advice, don't go on Twitter until you're 26.
And 26.
Because your brain is fully developed at that point. As I said early on, I was on social media and writing columns from the time I was 17. It was a great opportunity, and as it turns out, a great temptation to say enormous numbers of stupid things. When you're young, I mean, you're kind of trying out ideas, and you're putting them on, you're taking them off, and social media permanentizes those things and engraves them in stone, and then that's used against you for the rest of your life. So I tell young people this all the time. Like, if you want to be on social media, but don't post. Like, watch. If you want to take in information, and more importantly, you should read books. As far as other advice, I'd say engage in your community. There's no substitute for engaging in your community, and engage in interpersonal action, because that will soften you and make you a better person. I've become a better person since I got married. I've become an even better person since I've had kids. So you can imagine how terrible I was before all these things. And engaging in your community does allow you to build the things that matter on the most local possible level. I mean, the outcome, by the way, of the sort of politics of fulfillment that I was talking about earlier is a lot of localism, because the roles that I'm talking about are largely local roles. So that stuff has to be protected locally. I think we focus way too much in this country and others on like world-beating solutions, national solutions that apply to hundreds of millions of people. How do we get to the solutions that apply for like 5? And then we get to the solutions that apply to like 20. And then we get to the solutions that involve 200 people or 1,000 people. Let's solve that stuff. And I think the solutions at the higher level flow bottom up, not top down.
What about mentors and maybe role models? Have you had a mentor, or maybe people you look up to? Either you interacted on a local scale, like you actually knew them, or somebody you really looked up to?
For me, I'm very lucky. I grew up in a very solid 2-parent household. I'm extremely close with my parents. I've lived near my parents literally my entire life, with the exception of 3 years at law school. Like right now, they live a mile and a half from us. What'd
you learn about life from your parents and your father?
Is there no way to auto clear this shit?
So many things.
Really?
From my parents. That's
good and bad.
That's a hard one.
It's not marked for auto.
I think the good stuff from my dad is that you should hold true to your values. He's very big on, you have values. Those values are important. Hold true to them.
Did you understand what your values are, what your principles are early on?
Fairly quickly, yeah. And so he was very big on that, which is why, for example, I get asked a lot in the Jewish community.
What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Wicked.
And that's the way it is. So that was a big one from my dad. From my mom, practicality. My dad is more of a dreamer. My mom is much more practical. And so the sort of lessons that I learned from my dad are that you can have this sort of the counter lesson is that you can have a good idea, but if you don't have a plan for implementation, then it doesn't end up as reality. And I think actually he's learned that better over the course of his life too. But my dad, from the time I was very young, he wanted me to engage with other adults, and he wanted me to learn from other people. And one of his rules was if he didn't know something, he would find somebody who he thought did know the thing for me to talk to. That was a big thing.
40 seconds till the game starts.
As far as sort of other mentors,
Hot
in terms
stuff.
of media, Andrew Breitbart was a mentor. Andrew, obviously, he was kind of known in his latter days, I think, more for the militancy than when I was very close with him.
So for somebody like me who knows more about the militancy, can you tell me what makes him a great man?
What made Andrew great is that he engaged with everyone. I mean, everyone. So there are videos of him rollerblading down the boulevard, and people would be protesting, and he would literally like rollerblade up to them, and he would say, "Let's go to lunch together," and he would just do this. Like, that's actually who Andrew was.
What was the thinking behind it?
That's who he was. He was just garrulous. He was much more outgoing than I am. Actually, he was very warm with people. Like for me, yeah, I would say that with Andrew, I knew Andrew for, I met him when I was 16. He passed away when I would have been 28. So I knew Andrew for 10, 12 years. And people who met Andrew for about 10 minutes knew Andrew 99% as well as I knew Andrew. Because he was just all out front. Like, everything was out here, and he loved talking to people. He loved engaging with people. And so this made him a lot of fun and unpredictable and fun to watch and all of that. And then I think Twitter got to him. I think by Twitter is one of the lessons I learned from Andrew is the counter lesson, which is Twitter can poison you. Twitter can really wreck you. If you spend all day on Twitter reading the comments and getting angry at people who are talking about you, it becomes a very difficult life. And I think that, in the last year of his life, Andrew got very caught up in that because of a series of sort of circumstances.
It can actually affect your mind. It can actually make you resentful, all that kind of stuff.
I tend to agree with that. So, but the lesson that I learned from Andrew is engage with everybody, take joy in sort of the mission that you're given. And you can't always fulfill that. Sometimes it's really rough and difficult. I'm not going to pretend that it's all fun and rainbows all the time, because it isn't. And some of the stuff that I have to cover, I don't like. Some of the things I have to say, I don't particularly like. Like that happens. But that's what I learned from Andrew. As far as sort of other mentors, I had some teachers when I was a kid who said things that stuck with me. I had a 4th grade teacher named Miss Janetti who said, "Don't let potential be written on your tombstone," which is a pretty
that's a good line.
It's a great line. For 4th graders.
Is Chalker good? I don't know.
I had an 11th grade English teacher named Anthony Miller, who was terrific, really good writer. He had studied with James Joyce at Trinity College in Dublin, and so he and I really got along, and he helped my writing a lot.
Did you ever have doubt in yourself? I mean, especially as you gotten into the public eye with all the attacks, did you ever doubt your ability to stay strong, to be able to be a voice of the ideas that you represent?
You definitely, I don't doubt my ability to say what I want to say. I doubt my ability to handle the emotional blowback of saying it, meaning that's difficult. I mean, again, to take just one example, in 2016, the ADL measured that I was the #1 target of anti-Semitism on planet Earth.
Jeez.
That's not fun. It's unpleasant. And when you take critiques, not from anti-Semites, but when you take critiques from people generally, we talked about near the beginning how you surround yourself with people who are going to give you good feedback. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Sometimes people are giving you feedback, and you don't know whether it's well-motivated or poorly motivated. And if you are trying to be a decent person, you can't cut off the mechanism of feedback. And so what that means is sometimes you take to heart the wrong thing, or you take it to heart too much. You're not light enough. You take it very, very seriously. You lose sleep over it. I can't tell you tonight's not slept. Some critique somebody's made of me, and I've thought to myself, maybe that's right. And sometimes it is right. And that's.
So some of that is good to stew in that criticism, but some of that can destroy you. You have a shortcut. So Rogan has talked about taking a lot of mushrooms. So since you're not into the mushroom thing, what's your escape from that? Like when you get low, you can't sleep.
Usually, writing is a big one for me. So the writing for me is cathartic. I love writing. That is a huge one. Spending time with my family. Again, I usually have a close circle of friends who I will talk with in order to sort of bounce ideas off of them. And then once I've kind of talked it through, I tend to feel a little bit better. Exercise is also a big one. I mean, if I go a few days without exercise, I tend to get pretty grumpy pretty quickly. I mean, I gotta keep the six-pack going.
There, you and Rogan agree. Well, we haven't, aside from Twitter, mentioned love. What's the role of love in human condition?
Man, don't get asked for love too much. In fact, I was.
You don't get that question on college campus?
No, I typically don't, actually. In fact, we were at an event recently, as a Daily Wire event, and in the middle of this event, it was a meet and greet with some of the audience. And in the middle of this event, this guy walks by with this girl. They're talking to me, and their time kind of runs. The security's moving them. And he says, no, wait, hold on a minute. And he gets down on one knee, and he proposes to the girl in front of me. And I said to him, this is the weirdest proposal in human history. What is happening right now? Like, I was your choice of Cupid here. Like, so well, you know, we actually like got together because we listened to your show, and I said, well, I can perform it like a Jewish marriage right now. We're gonna need like a glass. We're gonna need some wine, weird, real fast. But yeah, so Love Doctor, I'm totally not asked too much about. The role of love is important in binding together human beings who ought to be bound together, and the role of respect even more important in binding together broader groups of people. I think one of the mistakes that we make in politics is trying to substitute love for respect or respect for love, and I think it's a big mistake. So I do not bear tremendous love in the same sense that I do for my family or random strangers. I don't. I love my family. I love my kids. Anybody who tells you they love your kids as much as you love your kids, lying. It's not true. I love my community more than I love other communities. I love my state more than I love other states. I love my country more than I love other countries. Right? Like that's all normal, and that's all good. The problem of empathy can be when that becomes so tight knit that you're not outward looking, that you don't actually have respect for other people. So in the local level, you need love in order to protect you, shield you, go forward. And then beyond that, you need a lot of respect for people who are not in the circle of love. And I think trying to extend love to people who either are not going to love you back, or are slap in the face for it, or who you're just not that close to. It's either it runs the risk of being hurt at, or a connection.
Well, there's some sense in which you can have love for based on the humanity that connects everybody. Right? You love this whole project that we're a part of. And actually, another thing we disagree on is a stranger, like having that basic empathy and compassion towards a stranger, even if it can hurt you. I think it's ultimately that to me is what means to be a good man, is to live a good life, is to have that compassion towards strangers. Because to me, it's easy and natural and obvious to love people close to you. But to step outside yourself and to love others, I think that's the fabric of a good society. You don't think there's value to that?
I think there can be, but I think we're also assessing love. Meaning that when I talk about love, what I think of is love I feel for my wife, or my parents, sister, girlfriend, or the love of my close friends. Yeah. Okay, but I think that
destroy these people.
Using that same term to describe how I feel about strangers, I think would just be inaccurate. And so that's why I'm suggesting that respect might be a more solid and realistic foundation for the way that we treat people far away from us, or people who are strangers, respect for their dignity, respect for their priorities, respect for
just walk right in, stun me in, and walk right out.
Ask, in other words. There might be the rare human being capable of literally loving a homeless man on the street the way that he loves his own family. But if you respect the homeless man on the street the way that you respect your own family, because everyone is deserved, deserves that respect, I think that you get to the same end without forcing people into a position of unrealistically expecting themselves to do. You know, one of the big questions in religion that comes up is God makes certain requests that you feel a certain way. You're supposed to be bisimcha, you're supposed to be happy about certain things, or you're supposed to love thy neighbor as thyself. You'll notice that in that statement, it's thy neighbor, right? It's not just generally anyone. It's love thy neighbor as thyself. In any case,
I think that extends to thy neighbor, because it's anticipated the social network aspect that is not the same as geography.
I'm going to differ with you on the interpretation on that. But in any case, the sort of, the kind of extension of love outwards might be too big an ask. So maybe we can start with respect, and then hopefully out of that.
Why am I getting stunned by Loki? What the fuck is stunning me out?
Because I think that one of the big problems when we were talking about universalism is when people say, like, I'm a
dude.
I love people of the other person as much as I love myself, or as much as I love my country. It tends to actually lead to an almost crammed down utopianism that I think can be kind of difficult. With love comes a certain expectation of solidarity. And I think, right, when you love your family, you love your wife, like, there's a certain level of solidarity that is required inside that home.
Part of the collective
most loving
now.
kind of home. And so if you love everybody, then that sort of implies a certain level of solidarity that may not exist. So maybe the idea is, for me, start with respect, and then maybe as people respect each other more, then love is an outgrowth of that, as opposed to starting with love and then hoping that respect develops.
Yeah, there's a danger that that word becomes empty, and instead of more dogmatic kind of utopian.
I mean, this is the way that, for example, religious theocracies very often work. We love you so much we have to convert you.
So let's start with respect. What I would love to see.
How dare they die on us?
Twitter of
Who am I playing against?
already been, and maybe one day
An enemy has been slain.
that would, if I could see that,
They
in
are
this world,
destroying our
that would
allies.
make me die happy.
Wow.
A little bit
I can
more
make that happen.
love in the world for me, as a gift for me.
I'll try to make that happen. I do have one question.
You
I need
will
to
help
tell
me destroy the
like, which jokes are okay? Are jokes still okay?
So yeah, can I just run your Twitter from now on? You just send it to me.
100%. I'll pre-screen you the jokes, and you can tell me if this is a loving joke or if this is a hate
People
joke.
will be
Not
very surprised at all the heart emojis that start popping up on your Twitter. But thank you so much for being bold and fearless and exploring ideas. And your Twitter aside, thank you for being just good faith in all the arguments and all the conversations you have with people. It's a huge honor. Thank you for talking to
Hey,
me.
thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this conversation with Ben Shapiro. To support this podcast, please check out our sponsors in the description. Now, let me leave you with some words from Ben Shapiro himself. Freedom of speech and thought matters, especially when it is speech and thought with which we disagree. The moment the majority decides to destroy people for engaging in thought it dislikes, thought crime becomes a reality.
Wow, did he
Thank
have,
you for listening.
did he have
I hope
words
to
from
see
me
you
that he left people
next
with at
time.
the end of our show? What the fuck? That seems like a pretty well put together dude. Yes, the N-word. Thank you. Okay, great. Okay, we made so much progress today. Oh my god, I got a few mines up. We're so close to having space elevators. I think the next tiers of science aren't going to be that bad. I think I understand what I need to do. I think you need to block out. I just need to block out where I'm bringing in. I need to have like whole chunks where like this is for this science. I think that once you have the tier 1, 2, 3, 4 science done, I think you're done with the majority of them. Deep space science is its own thing, but if you've done everything else really cleanly up to then, I think that's like most of it. I think I can be done with this before the end of the year. Deep space is like 30%. From everything I've read, if everything you've done is really clean up to deep space and you have a good understanding you've done everything, I've heard that like deep space is not that bad.
Lancelot.
You're far from clean though. Am I far from clean? Am I far from clean? I mean, like, I see where I can clean up a lot of this, but I think this is relatively okay. Are you going for just a spaceship? Are you going for a certain distance? Isn't the win goal to like transport to another dimension? I feel like novice is pretty clean. I can clean up. I can do more, of course. This is pretty clean. How can you say these production lines? This is pretty clean. Barely. This is These fucking gliders are so annoying. Search for victory and technologies. Allows the Nexus to activate a distortion drive to escape the local line. Have a Nexus running in distortion mode on a 250 moving at 250 speed and it was 600 seconds to win the game.
But that takes us back to the N-word with a hard R.
Nice topics. Second Thought posted a new video.
Is paid for the debate to be between climate change.
This guy is so... I hate this guy.
Change's existence and climate change being a farce. And it won them enough time to shift the debate to where it is today, where climate change is now broadly acknowledged, but now we debate how quickly we really want to adapt, once again buying them more time.
That guy is one of the worst people on fucking YouTube in terms of dog shit info. But, okay. I am definitely going to have the space elevator done today. 1, 2, 3, 4. The space elevator is going to be way better than this dog shit spaceship stuff, right? Who just joined?
I'm excited you watched it.
Oh. Yeah, it was okay. Benny Boy seems pretty well put together.
That was the most surprising interview or like interaction I've ever seen from him with somebody else. Like, seems like a completely different dude than the persona that got him famous.
Do you think so?
I think so. I mean, 100%. Like,
My
possible, too.
steed and I are ready for yet another adventure. I will be sure to use this in the battles to come.
But also, to be fair, I don't watch any of his interactions with, you know, like the college campus stuff more. I don't know how it is, but like when you and I talked about this a week or so ago, I mentioned the thing that kind of surprised me about it was his answer about Biden. I thought that was a really nice observation.
Hello to you.
Especially since he's gotten slammed over the voicemail so much, enabling.
A weapon that rivals my mighty lance.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, cute.
Is there anything that surprised you in particular about some of the positions that he took?
No, not really. I don't think so.
Yeah. The only thing that I would point out is that the Hunter Biden shit is really frustrating just because it seems to me, in addition to kind of misrepresenting the level of censorship involved on social media accounts, you've got to remember that that was an intended October surprise by the Republicans, right? They sat on that for months, waiting for the opportunity, and it seems like Shapiro and the conservatives are pissed.
My apologies.
That
To you.
it got stuck.
The natural life cycle, yeah. They wanted it to spend more time in the media, but like maybe if that was the case, maybe they shouldn't have tried to do so. Or they should have been more strategic with it instead of sitting on it for so long.
Right, or allowed it. I mean, to me, it's not even a natural life cycle. It was deliberately cultivated, right? Because if it was natural, or at least became convinced that it was real. So that's the part of the equation that none of the conservatives ever discussed. Like, they made it clear. Yeah, not because, I mean, I guess maybe in principle they're upset that social media interfered, but to me,
An enemy has been
I don't think
slain.
they'd be nearly as pissed if it was a story about Ivanka, Jared, or anybody else.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Time to destroy these people.
Vanilla Factorio, should they even bother?
Fuck, there's 20 flies in my house. Why? It's fucking cold outside. Die already. Be dead.
Did you watch some of the... I watched some of the video last night.
Be careful in the jungle.
Say, they're full of
I didn't mean
organs,
to.
aren't they?
Losers. Wait.
2, 1. Please give me.
They won't come back to me now.
An enemy has been slain.
I think I
Let me entertain you. Part of the collective now.
Splendid work. My apologies.
No worries at all.
But like,
why? It's so easy to just
if
not.
ever I was to get anything,
Your middle tower is under attack.
It's so easy to just
Sure.
never make.
guys, what the fuck, guys? Okay. That's a woman. I agree. I'd hit that. See, a woman agreed with me.
Time to ride, old friend.
Kamala break at 59.40. Well, that would leave. Kamala can break a tie, a 50-50.
The Gold Fury has arrived.
Oh.
I will be sure to use this in the battles to come.
Say, they're full of organs, aren't they?
Oh, we didn't finish this guy's life. Here, you guys can do this.
Be careful,
Mighty steed!
Actually, no, I want to watch this, so you're gonna have to wait now. Hold on one second.
You will help me destroy the earth!
Fret not.
It was a tie. The Americans wouldn't let us score.
Thanks.
And they called us hateful slurs too. Like bongers. Now I have to take my anger out on something. Or somebody.
Your team
Ben Shapiro
destroyed
saying
the
Twitter
right
is bad for
enemy
discourse. They're saying while sharing fake news, then deleting it is good for discourse. Slash. Good morning, everyone. White Tea Chat Pack, the best fact testing feels good.
Face me!
Your middle tower is under attack.
Celery strike at the heart of evil.
My apologies.
Fuck you. exactly does enforcement work for merchants, only in the case of great work? I could see reported wage figures jumping if it becomes the loophole.
To recover. A weapon that rivals my mighty lance.
My way. I need the jungle buff.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Destiny, I want to debate you. I have trained for years now.
way.
How do I become a tier 4 subscriber?
An enemy has been slain.
Stop sitting independently and start doing more research. You sound really uninformed lately.
Amazing party trick.
Time to ride, old friend.
I, for one, am happy with the fiber optic cable set up in my apartment, thanks. With its infrastructure, the speed increases are undeniable, so what if all my babies are stillborn? At least I can browse TikTok at 1,000 gigabits per second rate, so dump your dead babies at some other door.
Shut down. My apologies.
Fret not.
Just baited them. Now I still don't understand this.
Your left tower is under attack. Champion Fire Giant has arrived.
No worries at all. Tag left lane.
It's the time again. MMM. Whoa. MMM. Whoa.
Okay.
MMM. Whoa.
My way. Be careful, middle.
MMM. Whoa. MMM. Whoa.
Your middle tower
MMM.
is under attack.
Whoa. Kill yourself for me, Dinos. Suck it out, Dinos. An enemy has been slain. They are part of the collective now. I'm a piece of brain for
Your middle tower is under attack.
Ladies are interns that Makoto is helping manage. And that's his boss. Although it's a small Tokyo office, you can see that Makoto sits next to his boss without any barriers. Open seating.
Destroyed a left enemy tower.
Seems like Makoto but that's kind of like what happens when you're in a small office. You kind of have to do.
They are part of the collective
Makoto,
now.
he comes in, turns on the lights, makes coffee for everyone. I don't know. Is this like very similar to your country? Let me know in the comments. He's off to his first plane now. How much time do you have until the meeting?
Middle enemy tower.
It's kind of big. In fact, the business card doesn't even have a title.
Your team has fully towered the owl.
Makoto, where are you going right now?
Such bounty plague these lands.
Their shipments to the company's subscribers.
All my might is face me. At the heart of evil.
They're full of organs.
So they're actually roasting the companies right now.
I will ensure that all mankind has their legs sawed off.
Now Now he's heading to Shibuya from Tsukishima, which are on opposite ends of Tokyo. Another 30-minute train ride.
They are part of the collective now.
Enemy missing middle!
So, where are you going now?
これからコインスペースで観光案内所にSIM カードの受け渡しをやってるので、質問がいろいろありまして、それを答えるためにちょっと直接
Did
会
I
いに。
miss something? Wait, why the fuck did you have to go to that place?
This effort is also part of Makoto's job, so that actually but the business is part of the company's initiative as it donates all the earnings to charity called Shipments for the company's subscribers. It seems kind of odd for a SIM card company
meeting?
to be in
Wait,
copies of Shipments.
Why does he have to travel to the other end? Don't they have fucking...
Managing this now he's heading to Shibuya from
fuck all
Tsukishima,
that shit.
which are on opposite ends of Tokyo. Another 30-minute train ride. So, where are you going now?
これからコインスペースでSIM カードの受け渡しをやってるので、
Can't wait to like D&D. Unsure than the cops. I mean, Queen's Guard will never find me. Praise Solthera.
Even though many interactions can be overcome, Japanese players report to lead. In fact, Makoto spends a lot of time on also you have to edit out most of the time, but take close attention to the time in locations. He doesn't have a lot of time for it, so he's gonna pick up some food at the Supa, or in English, supermarket, then head back to the office to grind out emails he missed during the
Bro, buy a laptop or do emails on your phone on the train. What's he doing on all these train rides? What's he doing with his time there?
I don't want to bother him.
And the battle is on. Round of mind bombs are on me.
Trick. Here, so it looks like there's like 3 rooms or like 3 companies on this floor. And then you have the men's bathroom, and then you have the women's bathroom. Like all videos, let's check out what it looks like. I don't know, are you guys looking at other people's bathrooms, or is it just me?
Oh, so one toilet on the floor, and with the standard Japanese wash lid.
Looks like they do have the sink there, which is pretty simple as well. I don't know, like small business owners, it's like pretty much required to have like a sink. And instead of having one office and everyone shares like this like common space, you know what's actually really sponsors are SIM cards. SIM cards are the rest of your life. It's crazy. So I think I found something. What's this? What's this little thing here?
What's this? Makoto, you travel so much. Can you use taxis instead to get around?
使わないですね。ないです。タクシーって大体電車で移動してますから。ダメだってボスが言ってますからダメです。
Hey man, it's not
Would a
strict.
taxi be faster anywhere in Japan? I don't know if I ever took a taxi when I was in London. No, I guess you would sometimes. If it's like a short point A to B, it's not like a good transit, but...
So now, Makoto and his boss are going to meet with Soften. They're supplier for SIM cards. In more formal Japanese meetings, it's normal to meet several people from the company. In fact, I've been in meetings with more than 10 people from one company, 10. Nice. One of the first Japanese business manners to master is the Meiji Kokan, meaning business manners. At the first meeting, Meiji Kokan is a house. It would be quite embarrassing to not have a card, as you would be viewed as incompetent or a person of no importance. There are many rules such as how to hold the card with both hands, how to dress yourself, how to set the card on the table, and to not put away the card until after the meeting. But that's a video for another day. It's
Let's see Yoshiuro's card.
also Japanese business etiquette to show your clients at the elevator and to maintain the bow until the door closes.
kind of thing. Because
the relationship is like a little bit more complicated here, being like streamers and shit. But
Introducing Fight Camp. Thousands of workouts led by expert trainers that meet you on your time. Live punch stats motivate you to push harder and help you map out your progress. Knockout achievements, or go head-to-head against other rivals from across the country or across the living room. Learn the basics and sharpen your skills over time through tailored paths. Join the biggest boxing community in the world without leaving your home. Fight Camp.